Pandora is alive, but it is no longer innocent. The planet still breathes through its forests, sings through its rivers, and glows beneath its moons, yet something deep within it has changed. The scars of past wars remain etched into the land, visible not only in broken trees and silent battlefields, but also in the hearts of those who survived. Jake Sully has become a symbol rather than a soldier. Once a man fighting for a place to belong, he is now a guardian standing between worlds. His body is Na6, but his burden is universal. He carries responsibility not just for his family, but for the fragile future of Pandora. Neytiri stands beside him, strong yet distant. The losses she has endured have reshaped her spirit. Where once she trusted the balance of Awa without question, she now watches the horizon with suspicion. To her, peace feels temporary, like a calm before inevitable destruction. Their children have grown up in the shadow of conflict. They know the sounds of battle as well as the songs of the forest. For them, survival is normal, and fear is familiar. Pandora is their home, but it is a home constantly under threat. Far from the forests and oceans, Pandora's volcanic regions begin to stir. Ash clouds rise higher than ever before. Lava flows carve new paths across the land. These are not natural cycles. Something is awakening. Deep within the volcanic territories lives a Na6 clan unlike any other. They are known as the Ash People. Their world is shaped by fire, smoke, and destruction. Where other clans build around harmony, the Ash People build around endurance. They believe Pandora is not gentle by nature. To them, the planet is a trial, one that rewards strength and punishes weakness. Fire is not an enemy. Fire is purification. The Ash People have survived where others would have perished. Their skin bears marks of ash and heat. Their weapons are forged from volcanic stone and hardened metals. Their rituals celebrate survival rather than balance. At the center of this tribe stands Varang, a leader shaped by loss and belief. She is not cruel for pleasure. She is cruel by conviction. Varang believes Pandora must evolve to survive what is coming. In her vision, only the strongest should shape the future. She sees the forest clans and ocean clans as fragile. To her, their dependence on harmony makes them unprepared for the greater dangers approaching Pandora, dangers beyond humanity. The Ash People do not announce war. They expand silently. Sacred territories burn without warning. Smaller clans vanish, leaving behind scorched earth and broken symbols of Awa. Trade routes collapse as fear spreads across Pandora. Jake begins to investigate. At first, he hopes these events are isolated incidents. But patterns emerge. The destruction is deliberate, organized, and strategic. Neytiri understands the truth faster than Jake. She recognizes the language of conquest. The Ash People are not defending themselves. They are claiming land. Jake calls councils, attempting to unite the clans. But unity is difficult when fear dominates reason. Some clans believe resistance will only invite annihilation. Others believe surrender might ensure survival. Meanwhile, the Ash People grow stronger with every territory they absorb. As the threat of the Ash People grows, the conflict on Pandora is no longer limited to battlefields. It begins to tear through families, beliefs, and identities. At the center of this tension stands Jake and Neytiri, bound by love but divided by perspective. Jake believes survival depends on unity and restraint. He has seen what endless war does to worlds. To him, every battle risks repeating the same mistakes that once destroyed Earth. He wants to protect Pandora without turning it into a place ruled by fear. Neytiri, however, sees the danger differently. To her, hesitation invites destruction. She remembers how mercy once allowed enemies to return stronger. Every sign of Ash People expansion feels like a warning ignored. She believes that decisive action is the only language power understands. This ideological divide creates distance between them. Their conversations grow tense. Their decisions no longer align naturally. Jake worries Neytiri's anger may consume her. Neytiri fears Jake's caution may doom their family. Their children feel this tension deeply. They are no longer shielded from the consequences of leadership. Each of them is forced to choose how they see the world. One child believes strongly in Jake's vision of unity and hopes the clans can still stand together without losing their moral direction. Another is drawn toward Neytiri's intensity, believing that strength and fearlessness are necessary in a world that shows no mercy. Pandora itself seems to reflect this division. The forests remain alive but restless. Animals behave unpredictably. Awa's presence feels distant, as if the planet is watching, waiting to see which path its children will choose. The next phase of the story focuses on the younger generation, those who will inherit whatever future emerges from this conflict. They are no longer observers. They are participants. Jake's children are sent on missions to help smaller clans evacuate threatened territories. What they witness changes them forever. Villages reduced to ash. Sacred sites destroyed. Families forced to abandon generations of history. For the first time, they see the Ash people up close. These warriors are not mindless destroyers. They are disciplined, focused, and utterly convinced of their purpose. Some are barely older than Jake's children, yet they fight with unshakable belief. This realization is unsettling. The enemy is not a monster. It is a reflection of what desperation and belief can create. One of Jake's children is captured during a rescue attempt. Instead of execution, the Ash people bring the child before Varang. She does not torture or threaten. She observes. Varang speaks not with cruelty, but certainty. She explains her worldview through action and environment. The land of fire has taught her that survival belongs to those who adapt without hesitation. She believes Pandora will face threats far worse than humanity, and only a hardened society will endure. The child begins to question everything they were taught. Is harmony enough? Is mercy a luxury only safe worlds can afford? When the child eventually escapes, they return changed. Conflicted. No longer certain that the world Jake is trying to protect can survive without transformation. This internal conflict spreads through the family. Trust weakens. Fear grows. Spreads through the family. Trust weakens. Fear grows. As the conflict spreads across Pandora, Varang's true intentions slowly begin to surface. Until now, many believed she sought power, land, or dominance over other clans. But her vision is far deeper and far more dangerous. Varang believes Pandora itself is changing. Through years of living in volcanic lands, she has observed patterns others ignored. The planet reacts violently not only to humanity, but to imbalance within its own people. Storms, eruptions, and environmental shifts are becoming stronger and more frequent. To Varang, this is not coincidence. It is preparation. She believes Pandora is entering an era where only the strongest philosophies will survive. Harmony, in her view, has made the Na6 vulnerable. She sees fire as nature's way of forcing evolution. Ash is not destruction, it is transformation. Her ultimate goal is not to rule Pandora, but to reshape its people. She wants to burn away weakness, fear, and emotional attachment, creating a unified Na6 society capable of surviving any future threat, including those yet unseen. Some Ash people follow her out of loyalty, others follow out of belief. But as her ideology spreads, it begins to influence even non-Ash clans who feel abandoned by traditional leadership. Jake realizes the greatest danger is no longer armies, but ideas. The war finally becomes unavoidable. Varang leads a massive advance toward territories that hold spiritual importance for multiple clans. This is not a strategic choice alone. It is symbolic. She wants to prove that belief in balance will not protect sacred ground. Jake gathers every clan willing to resist. Forest warriors, ocean fighters, and smaller tribes unite, not out of confidence, but necessity. Pandora's sky darkens as ash clouds spread across the horizon. The battlefield is unlike anything seen before. Lava rivers cut through land once filled with life. Floating mountains tremble. Ash falls like rain, turning day into night. The fighting is brutal and chaotic. Fire meets water. Stone meets flesh. Nature itself becomes unpredictable, striking both sides without mercy. Neytiri fights with unmatched intensity. Her movements are fueled by grief, rage, and love for her family. She sees the Ash people not just as enemies, but as a mirror of what Pandora could become if fire replaces balance entirely. Jake focuses on protection rather than destruction. He saves lives where possible, even during battle. His goal is not victory through annihilation, but survival with identity intact. As the war escalates, casualties rise. Entire regions of Pandora are permanently altered. Victory begins to feel meaningless when the cost is everything they are fighting to protect. At the height of the war, Pandora reaches its breaking point. A massive volcanic eruption erupts at the heart of the battlefield. The explosion is not caused by weapons or strategy. It is Pandora's response to overwhelming imbalance. The eruption forces both sides into chaos. Warriors scatter. Alliances break. Survival becomes the only objective. During this collapse, a major sacrifice occurs. One of Jake's closest allies gives their life to protect civilians escaping the disaster. This moment becomes a turning point. It proves that courage without hatred still exists, even in fire. Varang witnesses the devastation she helped create. For the first time, uncertainty touches her certainty. The fire she believed would purify is now consuming indiscriminately. Jake confronts the reality that Pandora cannot endure endless ideological war. Neytiri confronts the truth that rage, even when justified, leads to irreversible loss. The Ash people retreat, not defeated by force, but by consequence. The war ends, but peace does not fully return. Pandora survives, but it is transformed. Volcanic regions expand. Forests regrow slowly. The planet feels older, wiser, and more cautious. Varang disappears into the ash lands with the remnants of her people. Her ideology survives, even without her presence. The Ash people are no longer conquerors, but a warning. Jake and Neytiri stand together again, changed by everything they have endured. They understand that Pandora's future will not be protected by a single philosophy. Balance without strength invites invasion. Strength without balance invites destruction. Their children represent the bridge between these worlds. They carry lessons from fire and forest, loss and survival. They are no longer innocent, but they are aware. Humanity remains distant, watching, waiting, learning. The film ends with Pandora breathing once more. Final message. Avatar, Fire and Ash, 2025, is a story about ideology, consequence, and evolution. It shows that the greatest battles are not fought with weapons alone, but with beliefs. Pandora's survival will depend not on choosing fire or harmony, but learning when each is necessary. Scarred but alive. Its future is uncertain, but not hopeless.